Hi, I'm Mandy Rinehart, and I am a member of the Encompassing Education team, and I am thrilled to meet you all very soon, I hope. I go by Mandy. My name is Amanda R at encompassingeducation.edu for my email. So just to clear that up. A little about me. I'm a mom of two. My daughter Maeve is 4 and my son Davis is 16 months. And my husband is Kevin, and we've been married for almost 8 years. I grew up in Seymour, Indiana, in southern Indiana. And that's the small town, if any of you know the John Mellencamp Small Town song. I went on to Indiana University to get my undergraduate in elementary education. From there, I decided to spread my wings and fly and move to Rock Hill, South Carolina, where I taught in a neighborhood school, which was an urban education environment. My heart has always been in urban ed, and so when I moved back to Indiana, because of course I desperately missed my family, just like my parents told me I would, I came immediately back and started working in Indianapolis Public Schools, where I made my career for 15 years. I was a teacher. I was a second grade teacher, a fourth grade teacher, fifth grade, sixth grade, and Over Under, which was a program for kids who were overaged and underachieving. It was very interesting. I hope I get to share some information about it with you sometime. I in about 2008, I finished my first master's degree in educational leadership and administration, and so I got my principal's license. And in between there, got married, had some babies, and well, just a baby at that time. And then I went on to be an administrator at the central office for the Indianapolis Public Schools. My title was Building Options Coordinator, which, is very vague and doesn't mean anything to anybody. But what I did was, first of all, I was over all the alternative ed programs for the Indianapolis Public Schools, but I also built programs based upon individual schools' data. So I used their data, may it be PBIS or their academic data, and I built programs for them so that they could either A, keep kids in school in lieu of suspension or expulsion, or B, so that they could improve their academic records. So credit recovery, or even kids for challenging kids, not just for remediation. So I built those programs, and I would love to tell you about those at some time too, because some of those programs were just amazing, and they did unbelievable things for kids and for the school system. So just a little tip, if you think that you might want or need an alternative ed program, you do. And you can have one. The only hitch is that you have to remember that it's only for grades 6 through 12. So if you've got some high flyers academically or behaviorally in your school or in your class, you can have an alternative ed program, and I'd love to tell you more about it. If you would like to contact me again, it's Amanda R at encompassingeducation.com. Since I was over alternative education, I was able to obtain quite a bit of training and now expertise in classroom management and behavior and PBIS. I oversaw the elementary alternative ed program directly, and so I got to use those skills to implement, to give kids replacement behaviors and, as I call them, tools for their toolbox to take back to their class, to the regular ed classrooms, so that they could be more successful. So that is how I am able to be an expert in this area, to give you professional development over it, and I hope that I get to at some point. And when I taught second grade, which was the last class I taught, which was the last grade I taught before I went on to administration, I had a student in my class. His name was Doug, and everybody said that he was autistic, including his doctor, but I will go to my grave saying that boy was not autistic. But I couldn't fight for him because I didn't have anything to back it up except for the teacher's, my gut feeling. So I went back to school and got my second master's degree in applied behavioral analysis, which there was also a focus on autism, and so I have some expertise in that area as well. So I can help you with that too. So if you need some help with, if you're struggling with an autistic student in your class, or just behavior or classroom management in general, please give me a call or an email, because I'd love to help you. Some tips for a good classroom management, I would say the first thing is to have a relationship with your students. You have to build relationships. That's the best way that you can get to them and to get them to be successful for you. I went to a training a couple years ago, and I can't say the name of the training, but one of the things that I took away from it was called Catching the Virus. And when you stand at the door, if you're a teacher or even a principal, and you greet the kids every day and you get to know them and you ask your what did you have for dinner last night, or who did you see last night questions, you'll start to build a relationship and you'll start to understand who they are. And you'll also start to notice if there's something off about them. So you can catch that virus before it comes in your classroom and disrupts everything. And you can also help that student to hopefully overcome whatever it is that's bothering them. And the third thing I would tell you to do is to keep them busy. Idle hands are the devil's workshop, as they say, and that is absolutely true in classrooms. If students, even students who struggle, if they are busy on something that they can achieve and something that they're interested in, they are much less likely statistically to cause trouble in your classroom. So those are just a couple tips that I wanted to share with you to help you out in your classroom, but I hope that I will get to come and see your classroom for myself at some point. Please make sure to visit us on Facebook at Encompassing Education, and I look forward to meeting you all. Have a great week. Bye-bye.